And we're live.
Hey, we came across the video. If y'all haven't seen it, we're going to play it for you. Hopefully the sound comes out good with it. But, if this doesn't make your blood just curdle and boil, I don't know what will.
Exactly.
How y'all doing today? Y'all staying in that trouble? You got your ID on you, Chip?
No, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out?
No.
Right. You don't follow like
No.
Code 3, anything like that people are putting up? All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together 7 days and going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law so they learn, right? And then if there's other stuff going on where it turns into there's multiple agencies or somebody, there's shootings and things like that. So there's extra hands as well, right? So we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joint or something like that, all right?
I only asked because when you walked up, at the moment you walked up, you only had eggs.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand, and I didn't flash it, so I didn't realize it was just a cigarette. So that's on me. I appreciate you understanding and not getting shit with me. All right, so just know, right? Learn, teach, tell your boys, like, yo, everybody's out, from FBI to park police. Right? So do your thing. Let them know. Don't be smoking outside. Don't be drinking outside. Because Donald Trump is tired of it. People come to visit.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know smoking in public?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the rest of the
Because in Maryland, there's recreational use, so I didn't know.
Yeah, so DC, it's recreational use as well, right? But you can legally possess up to 2 ounces. You can gift an ounce to your boy, right? So if you had 2 ounces and he said he needed a zip, you can give him a zip, but you can't smoke outside.
Like what the hell were they talking? What? First of all, what, you can't give a zip to your boys? Blah blah blah. I roll, major eye roll. It just infuriates me when these white boys get in here and try to talk in our vernacular, like they're one of us, like they're part of the crew, like they're part of the community, right? Hey, champ, you got some idea. What do you mean, hey, champ? Bitch, you don't know me. This is what is going on in the United States right now. The federal government moved to seize control of DC policing and flood the city with federal agents.
Yeah.
We told y'all. Te lo dije. We told you. Okay? But y'all wasn't trying to hear it. We told you back in September. We told you back in October. Y'all got into our stuff talking about, y'all feel fear mongering and blah, 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 right? And when I said a duty to warn when they were coming after the Latinos, we knew, because they always come after us. We know that. They never stopped, right? They just got distracted for a minute.
And how many times did he say, and I'm not going to say his name, but how many times did he say the orange turd is his rule? This is what the orange turd, he doesn't want this anymore. The orange turd.
Exactly. Like who the hell is he? He ain't go. He will not allow you to be smoking on your stoop. He ain't going to allow you to be sitting on your stoop, having a beer and smoking a G or whatever. Who the hell is he?
Yeah.
Who the hell is he? Tim Snyder, who wrote on Tyranny 20 rules or 20 lessons from the 20th century. If you want information, if you want to get the book, I read it 5 years ago. If you want to get the book, it's in the description below. we've got the receipts. There's a link that says something, we've got the receipts, something like that. And the book is there, as well as your scouting trip guide, because it's time to go, y'all. If it ain't time to go, if you didn't realize it was time to go, y'all know now.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
And we warned you, we warned you. We tried to tell you what could possibly happen and what would happen. And also they told you what was going to happen, not just what could happen, but what was going to happen. And now it's taking place.
That's right. That's right. So while they're distracting from the Epstein files,
which is bullshit.
What? While they're distracting from Epstein, because we know that the melon felon is playing with them kids. We know that. They knew his name was up in them files. So
yeah, and Caroline Levitt.
Right.
Up there telling all them damn lies.
Right. So if you want us to drop the receipts on why we say there is no time to waste, we want you to drop a power fist. Drop a power fist into the chat. Drop a power fist into the comments if you are watching from the future. All right. We've got the receipts. We know that what we're saying are facts. Okay. They are facts. Don't get it twisted. So for all of y'all who are new to the channel, just know we come with the facts. We come with the facts. And if you don't know, look, I've been doing this since what? 19 and 9 to whatever. All right. We are not going to steer you wrong. So the DC takeover, guard troops were flown in from Tennessee and Kentucky and some other red states. Why would they fly in troops from red states to police the chocolate city?
Well, first of all, they don't want troops from the hometowns because folks know each other. And it's hard. It's real hard if you got to slap your mom upside the head.
Right. Feds are asserting control over local policing, then which of course they revised after the lawsuit. But that's the thing. They keep doing things knowing that half the stuff that they do is against the law. And they're just like, what are you going to do about it? And they're waiting for people to sue them. Some people bend the knee, as we've seen, and we'll talk about that. And some people don't. But here's the deal, y'all. Here's the deal. And we've been saying this week after week after week. And we are really, really concerned about our community, about the Black community. Because every single thing that we are seeing, and we are going to connect the dots for you tonight between the Kennedy Center grab, right? And all of that, and the board purges, and Trump being elected as chair and then trying to, nominate himself and give himself the MC. This man, like, I understand as a former entertainer, as Josh Johnson would say, I understand as a former entertainer when you are just thinking about the ratings. But damn, you're the president of the United States now.
Hey, don't be surprised if he changes it from the Kennedy Center to the Trump Center, because it's coming.
Just saying. We're just saying. All right. So we're going to talk about that and a lot more, right?
Do we have to?
We are going to break it down. We're going to break it down because for those of you who are new to our channel, you might not know some of these things that we have been saying for 9 months. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Halisi.
And I'm Rick.
Go ahead.
Well, you're going to say something, so go on and say it.
Welcome to our Black Utopia.
Okay.
On our channel, we talk about money, we talk about travel and life abroad. All right. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early.
Early is a good thing, and retirement abroad is even better.
Retirement abroad is even better today. All right, sweetheart. So what are we talking about today?
Today, how they're dismantling democracy in real time, y'all. It's not down the road. It's happening now, today. Started days and days and weeks and months ago. It's here. Fascism is here.
But we want you to stick around to the end because we're going to give you your exit plan in 7 steps. Now, we know we keep telling you the steps, but that's because it's time to go. And every single week, there are new people watching. All right. And we want to make sure that if you didn't hear it last time, you hear it this time. All right. We're going to give you those 7 steps to get out of Dodge ASAP. Last week, we talked about if you ain't got no money, what you need to do to get out of Dodge ASAP. This week, we're just going to be talking about how to get out of Dodge ASAP, period. All right. So look, here are the headlines. We already know about the DC takeover, right?
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about the Kennedy Center grab. What else is going on?
The Smithsonian, what they're doing with the Smithsonian, and they want it to be more patriotic. They want it to be more fair. So they're eliminating, in other words, Black folks don't count, brown people don't count. We eliminating your history. We're getting rid of your history.
They want to restore American patriotism, right? As they ban books. They're banning books, y'all. They are banning books. Now we know we live in America, right? So there's always been the Christian right? We used to call it the Christian alt-right. Remember those days? And they were banning Harry Potter and stuff like that. But today they're banning like oh my gosh, the classics, right? The classics, like the person who wrote Beloved. Come on, our Black authors and stuff like that, right? And what is the movie? What is the movie that's based upon the book, where the guy is defending the Black man who's accused, and he's a kind of slow. I think the guy's somebody in there is kind of slow. No, the Black man's not slow. Somebody else in there is slow. And the kids, y'all know what I'm talking about. The kid's daddy is representing the Black guy.
Atticus.
Right.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
They are banning To Kill a Mockingbird. Toni Morrison. Thank you, Greta. Thank you. Thank you. What else are they banning? What else are they banning? See, because what we know is that when they start trying to erase history, is because they're getting ready to do something that most people, if they know their history, would not like. And if Black people don't know anything else, we know our history, right? We know our history. And at the same time, right, they are eliminating all of the grants and all of that stuff for the arts, right? The IMLS, NEA, NEH, all of those grants for the National Endowment of the Arts and all of those things are getting terminated in 2025. Why are they doing all of this? And why does it matter? Why does it matter to Black folks? All right. But first, if you're new to our channel, then you might not know. Back in 2018, Rick and I got a wake-up call, y'all. We got a wake-up call in 2018. We want you to get a wake-up call today. We want you to get a wake-up call today. In 2018, we got a wake-up call because we were getting close to retirement age, and we looked at our money and it looked crazy.
Crazy.
But we got our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. We'll see what the Melon Felon does and see if that holds. But if any of that sounds interesting to you, if you want to learn about any of those things, then please subscribe. Subscribe, y'all. We know there's about 50 to 60% of you lurking around in the background, watching our videos, and they're not subscribed. All right, so subscribe. Hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. And hit that thumbs up so that YouTube knows to share this information with other folks who look like us. We're going to say hello to all of the folks who are in the chat. We'll say hello to our members first and then to everyone else. And then we're going to get to Snyder's lessons. We've gone over this before, y'all. We went over all 20 lessons before. But what we're going to do tonight, today, because it's 8:30 at night here, y'all. But what we're going to do today is we're going to tell you which parts of those have already happened. So you can know how dire this message is, so that you can know if you are on the path to get out of Dodge, if you are on the path to financial freedom, you need to speed up that journey. All right. Yeah. I'm just saying. Thank you, DF. It is Toni Morrison. Thank you. You need to speed it up. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's see who is in the chat. First of all, we want to thank. I know. Wait. Where is she? Where is she? Coach Donna for being
Hey,
our
Coach
first
Donna.
member. She was here at 5:00. What is that?
Where is she?
I don't know. I don't know, but it was 5:00 our time. So she was here at noon. She was here at noon Eastern time. Already becoming a member. All right. Becoming a member. And so for those of you who don't know, those who are members, we got together an hour before we started tonight, and we started chatting about everything that we're chatting about right now. We chatted about, as well as some other stuff, some personal stuff and all of that kind of stuff, behind the scenes things. And so Badia, we thank you for becoming a new member. And those of you who are going to become urban utopian legend members, y'all get to come on air with us and let's talk about what is going on. You can ask us questions directly every other Thursday. So we thank you for everyone who is a member. I don't know how long they're going to keep monetizing this channel, because we're not going to stop talking about what we're talking about. That's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. So even though we are telling you that America needs to feel the pain of a Black brain drain, we're still going to continue to fight for our home country, because we all have friends and family and investments there. Right? Right. All right. Hey, Emery, good to see you in the chat. It looks like you had a lot to say. A lot to say. Y'all know the deal. If you have something that you want us to put on screen, please put a Q in front of your question or comment. And we'll go with members first, but we will get to it as early as we can. All right. And we've got Vanessa is in the house. Good to see you. Hey, Bobby. Derek and Gwen and Bobby, we just saw you. And Greta, we just saw you a minute ago. Thank you. And thank you, Greta, one of our amazing volunteers that helps us keep everyone in line. Thank you, Allison. Hey, Karen Louise. Good to see you. Greetings, Halisi and Rick, the OBU family. Blessings. This is a tumultuous time. We are in an existential crisis. Yes, ma'am, we are. And I don't think people realize that. Like, why do I feel like people are just walking around like zombies?
Because I don't think that they felt what they need to feel yet, that, is going to drive them over that edge.
I don't know. It's time to double down on OBU's call to action. Yes. And navigating tips to leave. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. First of all, I'm just going to say right now, if you don't have your passport, put that on your list. Get your notes out and put that on your list. Get your passport yesterday. Okay. Before he stops allowing people to get passports. Our youngest son just got his passport 3 months ago, renewed, and he waited until the last damn moment, but he got it within a month. So it still might be okay. Get your passport so that you have choices. Hey, Shanora. Hello, Emilio. I wish we weren't right about the inevitability of these actions. Yes, but I'm not at all surprised by any of it. I know, right? Right, Bonita? Good to see you in the chat. A. Nicole Lackey, Esquire, is this the beginning of the police state for America? We're going to talk about that. Hey, Bonita, good to see you in the chat. Excuse me. Who else is in the chat? Badia, who just became a member. Tana Rose. Wanda White is in the chat. Good to see you. Shanora K. CK. Deneen Rogers. That seems like a new name. Good to see you, Deneen. Good to see you, yeah. Good muggy afternoon in Atlanta. Ooh, I got family there. Double T is in the house. Hey, Yakota. Good to see you. Sarah McNary. LaRonda is in the house. Bye, Pacific Northwest. We see you. Good afternoon from Portland. Double T is in the house. AI Sweet Tea. Wanda White. Action VJ. Thank you. Hit that like as you come in, or become a channel member. Hey, Lee, we love you. Thank you. All right, family. We love you so much. Thank you, family, for coming. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for supporting our efforts and for believing that this is something that needs to be shared with our community. All right. So we're going to go over the things that have happened already. Y'all remember, Number one, what is it?
Not to
Do not
don't
obey in advance. Do not obey in advance. Do not obey in advance.
But most news agencies are already doing that.
Right?
Law firms, news agencies.
Right? Like ABC did. CBS did. Right? When the big three, for those of us who are older Gen X, right, or boomers, right, we know ABC, CBS, NBC, right? Those were the three giants. When they're bending knees, something's wrong.
So stop supporting them. Turn the TV off.
Turn the TV off.
Don't support them. Find a decent movie or something from a company that they don't own, because that's bullshit.
It really is.
you're talking about.
It really is.
They failed us. They seriously failed us. CNN, MSNBC, all of them. They failed us.
Right. Because they tried to both sides all this nonsense. And now here we are on the brink of global catastrophe. Y'all think we're exaggerating, but you watch. This is a perfect storm, because had Kamala gotten in office, the stuff that happens with AI was still going to happen. All right. A bunch of people about to lose their jobs because of AI in the next 1 to 3 years, not 1 to 10 years, 1 to 3 years. All right. Folks are about to lose their jobs. You's about to lose your job. You's about to lose your job. What you talking about?
Ain't nothing to sing about. That's for damn sure.
Anyway, do you remember that video?
Yeah.
Anyway, if Kamala had gotten elected, that would have happened anyway. But you put on top of that this incompetent, mechanical, melon felon, kitty hurting person who doesn't know what a tariff is, but claims he went to a Ivy League business school. And this is what you have. This is what you have. Y'all, this stuff is serious. Universities bending their knee, Columbia bending their knee, Harvard just did some kind of, Harvard, y'all got billions in your endowment. The HBCUs have millions. You have billions. What are you doing? What are you doing? All of this preemptive, doing things before he asks, doing things before it is mandated, is obeying in advance. And that is the first step towards fascism. And our home country is in peril. Our home country is in peril. Number two.
You have to defend institutions. I mean, I don't know if it's a little bit too late to do it.
Not totally. But
well, if you ask me.
Right. So DC home rule undercut by emergency power games, right? Federal agencies patrolling the neighborhoods. We just showed that. What the hell? What the hell? Defend culture. So when we defend institutions, what are we talking about? Defend culture. Why do we defend culture? When we look back, remember when we were in school and we learned about different eras in history, when we learned about what went on in history? I'm not talking about 100 years ago in America when this happened and, no, I'm talking about hundreds of years ago, right? We look at their culture. We looked at their arts, right? The Renaissance period, right? All of these periods are marked by what was happening in their culture, what was happening with playwrights, what was happening with music, what was happening with the arts. There is a reason why fascists try to get rid of the art, because the art will tell you what was going on during that period. And they do not want to be marked in art in a bad way. Plus, art tells us what we can expect. That's why it's so important to read books, even if it's just fiction. We told you, Lord have mercy. I feel like a broken record.
You sound like a broken record.
Even if it's just fiction, read, y'all. Read. Because this will get us ready for what is going on. This will get us ready. Attacks on arts funding classic authoritarian control of memory, right? Of collective memory. These are authoritarian tactics, and this is what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest reason is, first and foremost, you have to give a shit. And he doesn't give a shit because he doesn't read. So why would he care about books? He doesn't care about the arts. So why would he care about that?
No, but the people who wrote Project 2025, they read and they know. And they know.
That's
right.
They have an agenda,
right,
period, and
right.
they're sticking to their agenda.
Exactly. And he is the stupid, willing accomplice doing the bad
He don't
job.
give a shit, and neither do they.
Right? Because they know in order to control the masses, you've got to control the minds. And you control the minds through the arts. Defend economic truth.
Oh, God. This is rough. This is really rough. You know, he fired the BLS commissioner, Erica. What is it?
I don't know. I don't want to bastardize her last name.
Erica.
Baby girl, Miss Erica. Let's just call her that.
After they messed up the job report.
Right? No, they didn't mess up the job report. After he said he didn't like the job report. He didn't like it.
So to him, they effed it up.
Right? So, okay. Right? So then he nominated a political ally, right? A political lapdog. So we cannot count on the numbers anymore. We cannot count. This undermines the trust, right? This undermines democracy. How do you govern? How do you create policy? How do you correct if you don't have the correct data? How do you do any of that?
You don't. You just can't go along with it.
You can't.
You
right?
go along with whichever's told to you.
This is why it's so important to defend institutions. All of this information is fact-checked. The fact checks are in a document that is in the description below. Beware of the one-party state. We've said this before. Beware of the one-party state. Right now, America is being ruled by the minority. 78 million people voted for the melon felon. More people stayed home on the couch and watched whatever, Housewives or whatever, than went out and voted for this fool who is taking down the global economy. Rule by executive order, what?
Emergencies and agenda-driven appointments in place of, deliberation. I mean, come on, y'all. Who in his cabinet deserves the job or has any knowledge of the job that they have? Who?
Right.
Name one. Not even Marco Idiot. I don't even want to say his name. Not even that idiot.
Rubio.
Dude he can't even talk without getting, he can't even.
No, because his grandfather was undocumented. And now here he's like, look, we climbed up the ladder now, yank that ladder down. Who are these people? Who are these people? And we were just talking, because, okay, all right, some tough talk right now. Bam, because we've got them in our family, don't we? We've got those folks.
Got a lot of them.
We've got those folks. We were just talking in the chitty chat before and behind the scenes with all of the channel members, right? And one channel member mentioned that she's got some family members who didn't vote, who said, I don't know the difference between the parties, and I don't like her laugh, and this is that and the other, whatever. Y'all. Anybody that you have in your family, you need to be having a conversation with them, because there is going to be a 2026 election. I didn't think there was going to be.
Well, I don't think what good it's going to be.
I didn't think there was going to be a 2026 election, but he would not have called the governor, the melon felon would not have called the governor of Texas and said, find me 5 more seats if there was not going to be an election. There's no point in doing that if there's not going to be an election. So there's going to be an election. So all of those people who didn't like her laugh or didn't think that there was a difference or Gaza, or any of that other nonsense, tell them about Auntie, who is now laid off, who worked for the government. Tell them about, play auntie who is now laid off, who is going to leave them such and so, and they will, but that's now gone because they set their butts at home.
See, it just hasn't hit them yet. It hasn't hit them to let them know that it's time to push that button because it's not going back how it used to be, and it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
If you are over 50, the America that we grew up in, for good or for bad or good, right? It's gone. It's gone. It's gone, and it is not coming back in our lifetime. All right, deal with it. It is gone. Be wary of paramilitaries. They started out as Proud Boys. They started out as Keepers of the Oath. They started out as KKK. They started out.
Then
right?
They became insurrectionists and they got awarded for it.
Right? Then they beat cops over the head, went to jail, and got pardoned. And now they are the jailers. Those same people, they are paramilitary. They wear masks and they don't have any identification, and their cars are unmarked and look like civilian cars.
Yeah, most of them are.
Anybody who can run plates, I don't know. I'm just saying. They look like civilian cars, right? Beware of paramilitaries, visuals of multi-agency. This was in writing from Timothy Snyder. And it's like the people from Project 2025 said, let's go into Timothy Snyder's book and do the opposite of what he said do. Did they not do that?
Well, they took the time to read the book.
They took the time to read the book because he says, visuals of multi-agency federal patrols. What did we just see in the video that we just showed you? Police and FBI and NHS and IRS and UPS, USPS. Are you friggin' kidding me right now? Of multi-agency federal patrols plus guard troops, National Guard troops in DC. Look, beware when you see these things, when you see these multi-agency federal troops, be aware. Be aware. And this is exactly what we're dealing with. I have no idea who's buzzing at our door.
Nobody even noticed.
Right? All right. We're not gonna stop until we get to why the firing of the Commissioner of Labor Statistics matters to Black America. Okay. And then we will get to your questions and your comments. All right. So already we said, do not obey in advance. Defend institutions. We see that's gone out the water, right? We can still defend what's still left, though. But we don't have to do that on the ground, and we don't have to do that in America.
Defend culture.
Right? So under defend institutions is defend culture and defend economic truths. Beware of the one-party state.
Be wary of paramilitaries.
Next, believe in truth and be kind with our language. What do we mean by that? That means let the words mean what they actually mean, right? So woke does not mean that you exaggerate about the truth. Woke means that you are aware of the situation as it exists today. That's being kind to the language. That means knowing what things mean and not taking them out of context. Because usually when we do that, we do it for propaganda, right? And so when the Mellon felon said that that Los Angeles was under an invasion. He used that word invasion on purpose. Invasion from who? Who's invading? What other country is invading Los Angeles? Because that's what an invasion is, right?
Well, I asked that question on one of the lives that we did. Where does or what does the city of Los Angeles, California, need to be liberated from?
Exactly. Or whom does it need to be liberated
And the same
from?
with Washington, D.C. I mean, damn, I mean, everybody's got their crime and everybody's got their little issues and problems, but come on now. Washington, is that crazy?
No. And that's the thing. These little fragile snowflakes, we've been going to Washington, D.C. off and on since 2010. Okay. And I've walked the streets at night in Washington, D.C. as a female without Rick. And I have never, ever, ever felt day or night like Big Balls did. So what was he doing? Where was he at? What mess was he talking? Okay. That's all I got to say.
So what's the next city? And how do you tell? What's the criteria for the next city?
Exactly.
You know, high black population?
Exactly.
Or brown population?
Exactly.
Blue in a blue state?
Right.
You know.
Right. So let's get back to this believe in truth and be kind to the language thing, right? When they call things emergencies and they're not, call them on it. Okay? Email your representatives, both your at the Senate level and and not the state rep, but at the federal level, Congress people, right? You should have those emails already and email them every week. Just email them and let them know. You take offense at the fact that they're using emergency because see, words have power, words have meaning, and they have legal meanings, and it gives him the legal right to do things. When we say, oh yes, we don't say it's not an emergency, that means it is an emergency. And that gives him the legal right to do things which take away our rights. And we can't afford to have our rights taken away as we're trying to get out of Dodge. Right? They say divisive books. They call Toni Morrison's books divisive books. Right?
Any kind of book that has anything to do with Black history is going to be a divisive book.
Right? By
their terms.
No, it doesn't matter that Pulitzer Prizes and all this stuff were won by these people because he ain't won a Nobel Peace Prize, so he upset at everybody else who's won these international prizes. So when he started calling undocumented immigrants terrorists, right, and saying stuff was under siege, to repeat what I said, he's trying to find a way to martial law.
Yeah.
Trying to find a way to martial law. All right. So protect the language and protect facts. I hate when I hear Black people say, well, I don't know what to believe. Are you freaking kidding me? As a Black person in America, how have you made it this far if you don't know what to believe?
You really have to ask yourself that question.
Stop it. Stop Stop trying to get to the proximity of whiteness, thinking that they're going to, me too, pick me. They're not going to pick you.
No, they're not.
They're not going to pick you. So stop it. Stand out for professional ethics. And when I say white people, I don't mean the righteous whiteness. I don't mean the righteous white people. I don't mean that. I don't mean the people who are in our comments probably right now. I'm talking about the triple Trumpers, the people who voted for Trump 3 times, those Trumpers.
All I could do is roll my eyes.
Triples.
So I don't just start.
Thrimpipples.
Stop it.
I don't know. Whatever they are, you know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. F them. F them. Anybody else who is an ally, I ain't talking about y'all. So don't get your feelings hurt. All right. Stand out. Professional ethics. Right?
Mayor, AG, curators, librarians, economists say no to unlawful orders and politicized facts.
So we need to protect, right, the AGs who are standing up, right? We need to protect the folks who are standing up. And if you are a person who is in a position of power, you need to stand. This is not the time. You need to stand up. History is judging us all, and we need to protect them. We need to protect the librarians who are insisting that LGBTQ books should be in the library. We need to protect the economists that say, yeah, 300,000 Black women are now have been forced out of the workplace, the workforce in the last 6 months, right? We need to protect these people. Email your representatives at a minimum of weekly to let them know that you're watching them and you're going to hold them accountable. All right, we're going to get to questions, and then we'll tell you why the firing of that commissioner was so important, and then we'll get to the 7 steps. All right. Ooh, we got to go way back. How far you go back? We're going back because we go a little something like this. Hit it. All right. Y'all been kind of quiet. I don't see any questions. I don't see no questions. So okay, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the end. All right. See you guys. Hey Peggy, good to see you. Bizel Guru, good to see you. Angela, good to see you. All right. Parasani, we see you. I still don't see no questions. Okay, y'all. Oh, here's one. The officer was deferring responsibility for his conduct, right? Look, we need to remember who these people are. And I'm glad that those people in the video didn't have masks on. All right? Because we need to hold these people accountable. Just doing my job, just following orders, well, Trump doesn't want this and Trump doesn't want that, is not going to make a difference. What were the Nuremberg trials, right? Isn't that how we charge the Nazis? How are we going to charge these new neo-Nazis? Because they're getting charged. Oh yeah, they going down. They going down. It always happens that way. That's just the thing. Like, read a history book. It never lasts. It never lasts. It never lasts. It might last for 40 years. It might feel like it lasts forever, but it never lasts forever. It never lasts forever. These people are so stupid. Oh my gosh. Don't flee the country financially broke. Well, yeah. Okay, CK. She right. Do not flee financially broke. Okay? Look at our videos and look at the way to do it so that you are putting yourself in a position for success. Okay? We don't want you out here asking about no food bank, no Section 8 housing, when that's an American thing, right? Or anything else. But what we're telling you is that everyone watching has the intelligence to make enough money to live a good life outside of the United States with less stress, less lethal racism. Okay. Some peace of mind, right? I see the fists, y'all. I see the fists. If you want the receipts, show us the fists. Latanya Taylor. Hey. That's my sister, y'all. out-of-state cops don't have the same limitations as local cops.
No, they don't.
Right? And that's the other thing, because they know they're not going to go to church and see none of these people on Sunday, right? They're not going to go to the grocery store and see none of these people. That's why it was so important back in the day for cops to live in the city that they patrolled, right? The assumption was that if you had to live around the people in which you are protecting, right, that you would be more fair and understanding. That was the assumption. When they started allowing people to live outside of the cities in which they patrol, it got worse.
Yeah, like I said, when you gotta slap your mama upside the head, or throw cuffs on your mama, or throw your uncle down on the ground with handcuffs, and spray mason off stuff on their faces because that's where you live, it makes it a whole lot harder to do it. So yeah, you're gonna bring people in from outside that don't know them and don't care.
Exactly.
And they're just doing their job. It's hard to do your job when it's a family member.
Right. Hey champ, you got some ID on you? Bitch, I live here. You got some ID on you? See, I'd be in jail, y'all. I would be in jail with my mouth. My mama said my mouth was going to get me in trouble. She said it. All right. Would you both consider getting a retirement visa in Thailand? I just got my Mexico visa on Friday. Congratulations, Wanda. I'm so happy for you. Congrats.
And yes, we would consider it.
We would consider it. We definitely would consider it. The only reason I couldn't live in Thailand full time, besides the fact that it's too far away from California. So as long as my mommy is alive, I cannot be that far away from her. But is the burning season. And I know that's not all of Thailand. I know it only happens in certain cities. So I've got to have some more understanding around that. And just the heat in the summer. Like, I don't do well. I ain't doing well here in Portugal this summer. This is a hot summer.
It's been hot.
It's been hot this summer. All right. Today was okay, but it's been in the hundreds entirely too many times so far. So yeah, but other than that, Thailand is the bomb. Thailand, like, weather notwithstanding, the people, the food, the vibe, the people, the food, the vibe, it's on point. And the affordability, it is on point. I have to thank my friends for having their birthday there and being the impetus for us going sooner than I thought we were going to go. And it was a great time. All right. I will consider shortening my timeline after the National Guard takes over my city. CK, don't wait. That's too late. It is too late. By the time the Guard comes to your city, it's too late. Especially if you're trying to sell your house or something like that. Y'all. It's already too late for us to sell our house in Denver. All right. It was probably too late by the time we asked you. It just is what it is. And I'm not sure at this point. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've been thinking about this a lot.
I don't think it's too late.
I already know that we're not going to get what the original, I already know it's not worth what it was the last time we refinanced it. I already know that. All right. So we've already lost about $80,000 in value. That's why I don't know if we're at 1.1 million in net worth right now. I don't know. I mean, we've got more money, but some of our assets have devalued, right? Keeping it real. And all because of the melon film. So we're still very, very, very much in the black because we've owned it for so long, right? But that's not the point. So yeah, don't wait. With the interest rates not going down, and then what has happened? I could see us being upside down 2 years from now. That's what I see. If things continue to go the way they're going, we would be upside down in a house that we've owned for 20 years plus. Yeah. So don't shorten your timeline based upon when the Guards show up. Start getting your stuff ready now. Don't be like us, okay? Don't be like us. because I knew this was coming. I knew November 5th, we should have put our house up for sale. Or November 6th, whatever date. You know what I'm saying. That's when we should have put our house up for sale. Because I knew that this was going to happen. But I was hoping that it wouldn't. I was hoping that white folks, once they realize that like Mima and Pap are going to be out on the streets, that they would rise up. But they haven't. They don't realize that Mima and Pap are like 2 seconds away from the streets. They don't realize that yet. So they want us out, whether we have funds or none. They don't want all of us out though. They want the uppity Negroes out. They want people who won't work in the fields. They want them people out, like us, because we ain't working them damn fields. Now, any of y'all Black folks who don't mind working in them fields, y'all can have it. But for the rest of us, that was for our ancestors and our ancestors alone, and they paid the price, and we thank and honor them for that every single day, and we say thank you and no thank you at the same time. Yes, that's what we do. That's what we do. All right. I think we've got all of them, and we're going to keep going, y'all. This history sanitation is not new. No, it's not. Remember why is this so small now?
I don't know. I was wondering how you can even read that.
Right. Why is it so small?
I couldn't see.
So we've got a different, the setup is looking different. Okay. That's a little bigger, right? Is that a little bigger, or is that back where it was? All right.
Same size.
All right. This history sanitation. Oh, maybe it's this. No, I don't know. All right. This history sanitation is not new. Remember the noses to all, if not most Egyptian monuments are removed. Oh, the physical noses. Yeah. To deny the cultural history, right? Yeah. So, okay. Do we know that for a fact, CK? I have heard that all of my life, but I've never read it in a history book or anything else. Now, like white people won't tell the truth about stuff.
Yeah, right? I believe it.
I don't doubt it, but then it's like something that's protruding. So are there other things that are protruding that are not missing? Right? And is it the nose that gives us away? Why not the lips? Why not the lips? Dennis is in the house. Why not the lips?
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. Supermarket today. Dennis, let us know what that bill is. I've been hearing horror stories. I've been hearing horror stories. All right. I'd like to start by splitting my time between Portugal and the US. What do you think? Do I go all in now? Go all in now. Go all in now. Because you can split your time between both, but if you want to live in Portugal, get residency here now, as soon as possible, because you might not be able to get it as easily. It might be as hard to get residency here as it is to get residency like in the UK or Germany or someplace like that, or Switzerland a year or two from now. So if you're trying 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it might not work indefinitely. So I would say if Portugal is the place, get the residency now while you still can. Right? Should you say anything different, Sweet Pea? Mm-hmm. All right. Let's keep going. Kelvin. Hey, Kelvin. Thanks, Kelvin. I always enjoy your content. Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all know all of our super chat, super thanks, and super sticker money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for folks who are kind of late bloomers like ourselves, right? Forgot to plan. Everything that we learned to go from negative 22,000 to 1.1 million in 3 to 4 years is in that program. Okay. We meet every second Saturday of the month for group coaching, and check your email if you've asked for a scholarship, because I've gotten back to about 75% of the people who have talked to us. All right. So check your email. If you just emailed us in the last 2 or 3 days, I haven't gotten back to you yet. But if it's older than a week or two, I've probably gotten back to you. So check it out, because these people, look, these are the folks who are supporting our people like Kelvin, who are supporting our community, right? And making sure that every single person who's watching has an opportunity to get in a financial position to be free, to get under the grip of people like the Melon Felon and that whole system, and to perhaps get out of Dodge if that's what you want to do. Benita says, stay abroad, say they are taking passports at some of the consulate appointments. Oh, start abroad is probably what you're saying. Start abroad is saying that they're taking passports at some of the consulate appointments. What? Okay. All right, Benita. I'm gonna call Anna and Zach and see, and I'm gonna do some research, y'all. If this is happening, we will talk about it this Thursday. If this is more than anecdotal, then we will talk about that this Thursday, because now all bets are off, right? We might not be able to wait until we got the money if this is what they're doing. Seriously. All right. How do I pay for your calls in US dollars when you quote euros? Hey, okay, so we charge in euros. Your bank will convert that. Whenever it hits, you will get the conversion rate at that time. See, the conversion rate goes up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why we charge in euros, because we don't know what the dollar is going to be from day to day, but we understand what the euro is because we pay our bills in euros. So if we're charging 40 euro, we know what 40 euro is. 40 euro could be $41 today. It could be $42 tomorrow. It could be $39 the day after that, right? And so whatever it is, that's what your bank will charge you. So don't worry about it. Just go ahead and charge it. And then when it hits your bank, they will do the conversion for you. I'd be in jail right now along with you. I can't remember. I'd be in jail too, right? Look, if these people came up on my stoop, I remember, okay, I'm going to say this. Look, I'm getting off topic, but I remember when we were still living in Denver and the police came knocking at our door looking for a family member because somebody accused him of some stuff that he didn't do. And they came at my door.
That's how they knock on doors.
I don't care what the manual says you're supposed to do. I'm telling you how my mama said you're supposed to knock on doors. And I answered the door with that kind of energy. Excuse you? That's how I came to the door. And the cops are like, saying whatever they were saying. And I was talking crap right back. I said, first of all, don't you ever come knocking at my door like that again. That's number one. I said, do you see any kind of warrants or anything that happened at this house? Well, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. Then don't you ever. Yeah, I did. I certainly did. I don't know if I would do it today. See, that's the problem, right? That's the problem. I would catch a case. And then Rick would be like, see, baby. Now, why are you doing that? Now you got me out here. Looking at 1930s Europe under Hitler and Mussolini, democracy erodes gradually, not overnight. Hitler destroyed their democracy in 3 months. 3 months. But Hitler didn't get to power overnight, just like Trump didn't, okay? He was lurking in the background just like Trump was, right? Trump 1.0 ain't like Trump 2.0.
You love saying his name, don't you?
What, Trump?
Yeah.
2.0?
Just the name, Eddie, just irritates me every time you say it. It's like, ugh.
I forget to say the Melon Felon. All right. Fascism thrives when scapegoating and exclusion of certain groups become normalized, right? History matters. Thank you.
That does.
Thank you, Karen Louise. It definitely does. The KKK wore hoods because they were local cops and did not want to be recognized.
Yeah. Local cops and the mayor and the sheriff and who else?
That's right. I knew that, CK. I knew that. Why didn't I put two and two together and equate that with what they're doing today? I mean, I did, but I didn't. Right? Like I did, but I didn't.
Plus the fact is it's real easy to get a picture of somebody. I mean, people do it all the time. When a Karen gets acting stupid and stuff, and they post their picture on Facebook,
right?
Folks notice you.
Exactly.
Real quick.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you,
Allison.
Again, I've gotten 75% of the emails done. If you need a scholarship to Beyond the Bling, our financial freedom program, you don't have to give us a sob story, y'all. I am counting on you, just to be honest, right? If you need it, if you cannot afford it, just tell us you can't afford it. That's all. Say you want it, and that's it. Okay? And if we have it, if there's still some left, then we will give it to you. There's no reason for any kind of humiliation and all that nonsense. We know who we are, right? And we trust. So, all right. Thank you, Dennis. You are, oh my gosh. Again, like the boiling, right?
It's just that.
Like the boiling frog, people don't realize how bad things are until it's too late, right? CK, do not wait until they show up at your door. Those red state farmers are going bankrupt. They forgot. How did they forget how they had to be bailed out the last time? How did they forget that? Or were they bailed out to such an extent that they were hoping for the same thing this time? Texas gerrymandering push shows they know they're going to lose in 26. Exactly. Newsom is our Trumpian Trump. Not Trump. I love it. I love the play on words. Thanks, Dennis. Okay, we talked to Badia. We said Kevin. We saw other Dennis, and Dennis is the gift that just keeps giving. I've been in Colombia and Panama since June. Really trying to make those moves, folks. Okay, Dennis, are you going to be? I'm just back home to New York City last night, and I'm scared to go. See, back home. See. So we're going to be in. Are you going back to Colombia and Panama? We're going to be there. I just worked out our itinerary tonight. Are you going to be there? Let us know. We'd love to connect when we are in Colombia or Panama. In New York City. Well, I like New York City, but I don't know that I'd want to be there right now. All right. We're going to keep going, and then we're going to let you go. I don't know where we left off. Let me see. Canada has asylum open for the... See, that's just a doggone shame that it's got to even be that way. Okay, she got an email. I see you, Benita. Okay, I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to keep going. Sorry, y'all. You guys are doing all that. At first, it seemed like you weren't talking at all. Hey, Sasha, I see you. Yeah, I'm a Cali girl. I am a Cali girl, born and raised. And I'm playing that mess. I'm talking all that yakety smackety. All right, I think I've got them all marked. All right. So let's talk about the Bureau of Labor statistics firing, all right, and how this hits our wallets. Because when you can't trust jobs data, you can't defend your community, all right? We, like the people who are fighting, the NAACPs and the people like that, right? They don't know how to target resources when we don't have facts, right? Like nonprofits will not be able to even justify that they did what they said they were going to do with their grants if we don't have the facts. We don't have the statistics so that they can say that their programs are actually working, right?
So nearly 300,000 Black women left the U.S. labor force this year.
In just months.
Yeah, in a very short period of time.
This is already a crisis. Yeah. This is already a crisis, y'all. If data gets politicized or paused, the damage goes unmeasured and goes unchecked. That's the thing. Yeah. But what we do know is this. As we've told you this before, Black folks are overrepresented in government jobs.
Government jobs, yeah.
Right? And that Project 2025 specifically was going to decimate government jobs. Black women are 12% of all government jobs. But we're not 12% of the labor market, even though Black folks are 14% of the population in America. We're not. Black women obviously cannot be 12% of the labor market if we're only 14% of the population. So Black women are really overrepresented in the government. So, and we, for the first time, Black women's unemployment is at an all-time low and lower than Latinas. I don't want them to be low, and I don't want ours to be low, right? But for the first time.
And the craziest thing is 300,000 Black women took with them $37 billion.
37 what?
From the U.S. GDP. 37 billion.
With a B.
Yeah.
Billion dollars from the economy, all right? So for all of those ultra capitalists who are talking all that yakety smackety, right? About how we're takers and sucking off the government teat. They just lost $37 billion of our money in the federal coffers. 37 billion. And we told you, United States needs to feel the pain of a Black brain drain. They need to feel the pain. So think about the lasting effects on our community. Think about this. Professional and political, if 300,000+ Black women are out of their professional jobs, professional and political networks for Black community have just shrunk significantly. This is going to affect our kids and our grandkids, right? Because I don't know about you, but I will pick up a phone every day and say, hey, my child is looking for a job. This is what they do. That our network was already infinitesimal in comparison to white folks. Infinitesimal, our network, and very flat, not very hierarchical, right? We didn't have a lot of people at all levels. But what we had. And now that's going away. That is something that is threatened by the fact that so many folks are out of the job market and the professional job market all at one time.
Yeah.
What else is this going to affect?
It affects generational wealth.
More childhood poverty, etc., right?
Yeah.
The U.S. needs to feel the pain of a Black brain drain. Black women's unemployment rising, mothers leaving work at scale, right? This is basically a reversal of what happened during the pandemic. Bottom line, economic visibility equals protection, y'all, all right? When the Black middle and upper middle class is large, the Black community in general has protection. So this is hurting the whole community, even if you don't have anyone per se that has been laid off. This is going to hurt the whole community. And discrimination operates the best in the dark. And if they're not tracking these numbers, then we can't hold them accountable. It's time to go, y'all. It's time to go. They are proving over and over and over that they don't realize that America's success has a good is really because of us. I mean, let's just be honest, right? It's because of us. They know it deep down inside, but we need to prove it to them. So what this means for money, life abroad and travel, rules, rights, right? We just learned this can flip on at a dime's notice, right?
Your budget business and safety shouldn't. Fewer emergencies, edicts to mess with your peace of mind.
So basically what he's saying is, even though rules and rights flip at the drop of a dime, your budget shouldn't, right? Our budgets can't. Your business should and can't. Mm-hmm. Your safety definitely should not be changing at the drop of a dime, right? right? And so a life abroad means fewer emergencies. Every time you turn around, the melon felon is doing something crazy. And it's like you can't even breathe because it's always something, some edict. First, you got the Medicaid and this and that, and everybody knows somebody who's on Medicaid or Obamacare. It's always something. So a life abroad means peace of mind, or at least a more of a peace of mind. Look, life still happens, y'all. Y'all, if you guys have been following us, you know life has been lifing up in the Vincent Brawley household, okay?
Yeah.
But what we don't have to worry about is a Karen messing with us because we're sitting in the park just to get some air.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting at the cafe just trying to enjoy a coffee, just trying to get a break. We ain't got to worry about that. Lower cost of living. We don't have to worry about one basket full of groceries costing $300. I was about to say euros.
Universal health care.
Right? Now, I'm gonna tell you, we got some stuff up in up in our comments when we talked about healthcare in Portugal. I guess anytime we put Portugal, all the Portuguese people who are angry come up into the comments and start talking yakety spackety, right? Thankfully, we have enough Portuguese followers that defend us and say, hey, they're doing things the right way, leave them alone. But yeah, this universal healthcare, we have universal healthcare here in Portugal. We can afford to pay for private. All right. We can afford to pay for good private health care. We are not mandated to pay for good private health care. We're just mandated to pay for private health care, which could end us up back in the public system more often than not. But we don't want to be a burden on the public health care system because we can afford not to be, and we want to be good guests because our mamas taught us some things, right? We got some home training, unlike some other folks. So you got lower cost of living, you got universal health care. And here's the thing. When you've got a lower cost of living and when you don't have to worry about going bankrupt, y'all saw our video about me having surgery for the first time. When you don't have to worry about going bankrupt because of healthcare, you buy back years of your life. You can buy back years of your life through a lack of stress, right? And by having healthcare that you can afford. Not only that, when you move abroad,
less radicalized policing and culture wars.
right? Aren't you tired of the whiplash? Right? You got more energy to do community building and stuff like that, right? Because community is real here, y'all. Community is real. Established Black expat hubs like in Mexico and Panama and Portugal. When our cousins came to town, people came to hang out. We had other people people came to hang out and meet with them and talk with them and just, show them what life in Portugal could be about. Even though they're not even interested, they didn't come, they came here to visit. But still, community here is real.
Yeah, plus mutual aid, you won't be alone.
Exactly. So when you need help, when you need to know something, if an emergency happens, we have each other's back. And I don't know what it is. It's like, where were all these people when we were in the United States? Because I tell you, the amount of people that I know that I can say I know will have our back here in Portugal is much greater, family notwithstanding, is much greater than the folks I had in LA or in Denver that weren't family. For real, though. For real. Am I lying?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying, I don't know. It's like all the beautiful souls are moving abroad, y'all. All the beautiful souls are moving abroad. So we want you to have a strategy. Do not panic. Treat relocation as financial geo arbitrage. Okay, because that's what we did.
With a timeline.
Thank you. Because that's what we did. All right. We could not, I'm gonna be honest, real talk. We could not afford to retire and live like we live in the United States. We could not afford to retire in the United States, period, at the time. Real talk. Now, if we were in this financial position, I would say we would not have been able to afford to retire and live like we live. at all. We could retire, but we wouldn't be traveling at all. Maybe back to LA, drive and rent a car or something. Because stuff is crazy. Stuff is crazy in the States. Prices are crazy in the States. All right. So we've got your 7 steps, path to peace to move abroad. Your 7 steps. We're going to see really, really fast, what you guys are talking about. Let me just make sure that I haven't missed any marking, because we're going to get to these steps really fast, and then we'll get to the questions. I'm just going to make sure that I didn't miss any. And it doesn't look like I have. Doesn't look like I have. Right, Angela? Seriously, though. Seriously. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. Look, y'all. Here's the deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. I remember 2 years ago, one of our subscribers saying, Halisi, you need to be careful. You need to keep your mouth shut. You don't want to get put on a list. I remember a subscriber saying that 2 years ago, right? Before we even knew that the melon felon was going to run again. But here's the thing. We cannot obey in advance. I cannot let them win without me doing anything to try and stop it when my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids are in the United States. I can't do it. And until they can get the wherewithal to get out of Dodge, we got to keep doing what we can do. Now, I'm not going to be on the front line trying to get tear gassed or any nonsense like that. But what we can do is educate, right? We can educate folks. That's what we can do. That's our part. And how you can help us is by sharing these videos, by liking these videos, by subscribing. All of that is free. And then if you can, join and become a member. And that can help us continue the good fight, because there might come a time when they demonetize us, and then it's gonna get real at that point. It's gonna get real. Bonita, how do we get a second passport? That's a loaded question, Bonita, and we've kind of talked about that before, but we've never done a specific video on just how to get a second passport. All right, we've talked about it kinda. So I'm gonna say this really, really fast, because this is really not what we're talking about today. But the fastest way is for folks who have money.
Yeah.
You can buy a passport. Okay. You can buy a passport with a golden visa, and you can Google which countries have golden visas.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we do not. We have a golden visa if you want to start a business and hire a certain amount of people. Thank you, Kelvin, for becoming a member. But there is no more golden visa for real estate. Okay. And so a lot of places still have golden visas for real estate, and it can vary anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million on how much you would have to spend on real estate or some other venture in those countries to buy your passport.
Yeah. Another way is lineage.
Right.
But that still takes time. You don't get the passport overnight or anything like that. But, your heritage, your lineage, your grandfather, some is the grandfather, some is the great grandfather.
Right.
Right. That's another way. Another way is getting residency and then citizenship. And then after citizenship, then you can put in for, your passport and stuff like that. But that takes a little bit of time to get too. All of them take time to get, except for
the golden visa takes the least.
Visa.
That's the least amount of time. But even that is not like, you buy a piece of property and then when title closes, the next day they hand you a passport. Mm-hmm. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's not how it works. All right. It probably is going to take you about 6, 7, 8, 9 months to go through all of the paperwork and all of that stuff to actually get that citizenship card.
Well, my friend who was here at the beginning of the summer, he and his wife got her Portuguese passport through lineage. But even when she put in for it, it took a good 5 years before
Yes.
she got the physical passport.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So like for Rick and I, even though we've been here almost 3.5 years, according to the government, we've only been tax-paying residents for 2 years and 2 months. So we are still waiting for our renewal for our 3 years. And by the time we're at what they consider 5 years, it really will be about 6.5 years because they're slow and because we couldn't get our appointments,
Right.
in a timely manner and stuff like that. Right. So, yeah. Right. So after 5 years for now, we can apply for permanent residency. And at the same time we apply for permanent residency, we will apply for citizenship. And that's what we will do.
But rules can change too.
Exactly.
Governments change their rules.
So don't wait, y'all. That's what we're saying. If you want to avoid the negative topsy-turvy, right, of rights being taken away, get out of Dodge. The flip side of that is the more people get out of Dodge, the more countries are going to put more hurdles in front of you, right? All right. So let's talk about the 7 steps, and then we'll answer questions and let you go. We're going to go through this really fast because anyone who's been following us, these basic steps, but we want to make sure that we include them. If you want to get out of Dodge ASAP, these are the 7 steps. Get your notebooks out. Number 1.
Pick 3 target countries.
Pick it regarding what fits your visa requirements. Maybe language is something you want to think about.
Yeah. And a Black expat presence.
Right? Maybe that's something that you want to think about. Or I was just watching Rashida earlier, and she said some of the people in her program got, 8, 9, 10, 12 countries on their list. Babies.
Narrow that down,
right? Have your list of needs and wants. All right. Down below is our Move Abroad Toolkit, which lays all of this out for you. Number 2.
Build a 12-month budget versus home, rent, healthcare, and transit.
Okay. So, and I would add food in there. All right. So rent, healthcare, transit or transportation, however you want to frame it, and food. What is that budget? All right. So you're going to have a budget for away that you need to know what that's going to be, and then your budget for home, so that you can save extra money for your move. Okay. Number 3.
Choose a visa path: retirement, student visa, digital nomad, D series.
All right. So you might be a remote worker, digital nomad. It depends on the country if these are different visas or not. All right. Student visa is always easy to get. Sometimes just taking a language class is enough to get a student visa, which you can roll over into another type of visa. All right. And then a retirement or passive income visa. And there might be other visas out there as well, besides the golden visa that we just talked about earlier. Right. So choose which one you want, so that you know what to look for. And then when you do your Googles or when you do your search, you can search for other countries that may have a similar type of visa. So number 1 was pick your 3 target countries. Number 2, build a 12-month budget. Number 3, choose your visa path. Number 4,
secure international health insurance.
All right. And the clinic map, whatever. Right. But that's important. All right. You will need health insurance abroad. We used AXA, and they operate in a lot of different countries. So you can write that down and see if they operate and cover the country that you are considering. This is important. Number 5.
Diversify banking. International friendly banks, plus fintech, plus emergency, USDA.
Not USDA, baby.
USDA.
USD.
USD.
He thought he was eating some beef,
I got steak
y'all.
on my mind.
He got steak on his mind.
USDA.
So seriously, yeah, diversify banking. And especially now when we know that the value of the dollar is going down. We've been talking about this also. We have a bank here in Portugal. It is mandated. You cannot get around that. Y'all know we have permanent residency in Mexico. Mexico does not mandate that you have banking there. But if I were living in Mexico, I might have a Mexican bank if I felt comfortable with the laws that they have on record regarding their insurance for banking and things like that. I would probably have a Mexican bank so I could convert chunks at a time and not feel that up and down, up and down, up and down with my rent every month.
Yeah.
Right. And then number 6,
income plan. Have an income plan. Are you doing remote work, consulting? Do you have a side hustle?
or maybe it's passive income. Maybe you have rental property. Maybe you have a pension. Maybe you have Social Security and a pension. Maybe you have pension and some rental property. Maybe you have Social Security and some rental property. You get the point, right? Cobble together the money. Let's make it work. That's what Rick and I did, right? We know that the average bougie couple, and we bougie, let's just get it, we bougie, okay? The average bougie couple, a Black American couple, cannot live on $2,700 per month in America. Cobble that money together and make it work. A little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little bit from here, a little bit from there.
Yeah.
Last but not least,
scouting trip. 2 to 4 weeks, 2 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
With a checklist.
The scouting trip checklist is in the description below, y'all. Under we've got the receipts. We put together a document that has all of the stuff all of the things that we mentioned about tyranny, all of those newspaper articles, all of that is in there, as well as the scouting trip checklist and the move abroad checklist, toolkit. Those links are in there as well. All right. So one link for all of those things. And we had Bobby. Was Bobby on last week or the week before that? Was that last week? Now, Bobby moved here sight unseen. But everybody ain't as bold as Bobby. All right. And so if you're not a bold Bobby, if you don't know that you know your mind, and that if you don't like it, that you can figure out how to change it, then a scouting trip is what you need to do. Okay. And I don't think Rick and I necessarily needed a scouting trip, but because we could, we did.
Mm-hmm.
And we still made up our mind within the first week. So the last 3 weeks were just getting to know our new city.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? Yeah. All right. So that's what we have for you today. All right. We gave you the reasons why it is time to get your plan together. And we gave it your exit strategy. We gave you your plan, right? We gave you your 7-step plan. All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about, and then we will let you go. We just thank you all so much. Again, I'm looking at what starred, and all of the people who have donated or become a member is all still in there. So, all right, Benita. So you said you got an email 2 days ago. Was that about, what was that about? Was that about, you got an email for moving or for your visa or about the scholarship? I'm not sure. How are the BRICS countries looking? The BRICS countries are looking fine right now. With everything happening in the US, I'm seeing a big opportunity for some international index fund investing. Yes, yes, and yes. And I was on the Georgia Stock Investing. So if you're in Beyond the Bling, you already know what the Georgia Stock Investing Club is. I was on there yesterday and hearing about some of the foreign investing that they're doing and taking notes so I could do my own research. All right. And so, yes, absolutely. I would be looking at the BRICS countries right now. I would be looking at international investing in general, because what we hear here, aquí, here, is that deals are being made outside of and just leaving the United States out of it. All right. They're just working around the United States. They're just like, you know what? We ain't got time for these fools. What we got to do. All right. We need to get this stuff done. That's what they're doing. All right. And so all the countries and companies, the companies over here and the countries over here are working around the United States. I would be investing. I would be switching my portfolio, not 100%, but changing the balance and starting to have a bit more in international. That's what we've done. That's definitely what we've done. Yes, they're asking for passports, but you can get a second passport. Oh. Okay. So let's talk about this again. All right. So Allison was saying start abroad. I think they're saying start abroad is saying that they're asking for passports. So for Portugal, unlike Mexico, they don't give you an answer right there. All right. And so they ask you to leave the passport with them, and they're going to mail it back to you. They're going to mail it back to you either with a visa or with a no. Nah, y'all can't come. Here your visa back. Here your passport back. Right? But they're going to mail it back to you. So I think that's what she means by start abroad. That says that they're
asking for your passport.
Asking for passports. Now, Rick and I did not leave our passports because we said we had some other traveling to do. And so we gave them 35, 45, 50 bucks or whatever. We
prepaid for FedEx.
Exactly.
For them to FedEx us.
And it had to be one for each of us because we each, even though I am his dependent as far as Portugal is concerned, each of our applications were separate. Each of the fees for the application is separate. Each of the FedEx had to be separate. All right. Just to let y'all know that. But here's the thing, Benita. I think it was Benita who said that Start Abroad was saying that. Each consulate is different, okay? So be careful when you guys are saying things. When you say the consulates are doing this, that doesn't mean that all consulates are doing that, okay? And here's the other thing. If you are an American and you have legal residency, say in Ecuador, you could get your residency for Portugal through the Portuguese consulate in Ecuador because you have legal residency in Ecuador. If you have legal residency in Mexico, you could technically go to the Portuguese embassy in Mexico, right? And so, and what is true in the embassy in Mexico or the consulate or embassy in Ecuador, or what is true in the New York, Boston, Texas, DC, or California consulate is not true at any of the other ones necessarily, all right? So what is true, what Start Abroad tells you is true for that consulate is not necessarily true for the rest of them. So be really careful when you're giving people advice when it comes to that. But listen to them when it comes to whatever they're saying, because they know what's the latest on the ground. We don't. We do not. So now I understand what you were saying. All right. All right. Oh, wait a minute now. I didn't read this. Okay, they say it's not Portugal that is demanding it, but it's the U.S. that demands we give over our passports. Okay, she's going to email us. We'll let y'all know if it's something to say, right? But that doesn't negate what I said before, okay? That does not negate what I said before. It's still, every consulate is different, all right? So be careful when you're saying things. Just know to have that caveat. If we are trying to get out of Dodge, in Baltimore, as soon as possible, what country would you recommend going first to then apply for our Portuguese visa? I probably would go to Panama, Costa Rica, or Mexico first, because all of them have very straightforward visas. The Panama and Costa Rica actually have now lower financial requirements than Mexico. None of them require that you stay in country all the time. Mm-hmm. I think Costa Rica, you check in once a year. I think Panama once every 2 years. And Mexico, only when you need to renew. So that's what I would do. What do you think?
It's my understanding, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I right now, I don't know of any easier ones. You had to look at the KKK shoes. Tanya, I don't remember the KKK shoes. I don't remember that. Huh. All right. ABX girl, for couples in Social Security and interracial marriages, please go now. Oberfell and Loving versus Virginia. I don't remember Oberfell. I don't remember so was that her name? Her name was Oberfell and his name was Loving, or her name was Loving?
I think his name was Loving.
I thought his name was Loving as well. Because in my mind it was always Loving versus Virginia, will not exist. ABX girl, look, if LGBT, if marriage equality, right, if same sex marriage is on the block, then interracial marriage is on the block. Okay, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. I don't know about y'all. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, all of our money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling, our financial freedom program for late bloomers like Rick and myself. Creative Flavors says, I have family and friends who want to purchase a home. What are your thoughts? I say to wait some years. I wouldn't be purchasing anything in the United States, but if only because I'm unsure in most cities. I think our condo in LA is going to be just fine. And we've owned our houses for so long and we had so much equity that I think in the end we'll be just fine. But if I were buying today, I first of all, I wouldn't buy anything but a multifamily home, period, the end. Period, the end. It does not make sense to buy a single family home. So a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. That's what I would do. And I would try to buy it in a city and or a state that has a lot of different types of industries, not a single industry, for obvious reasons, right? I think as far as real estate investing, there's probably better opportunities. The problem is the learning curve, right? Because you really do need to understand the market. I think there's better deals to be had outside of the United States. The problem is that we don't understand the market well enough to make those really informed decisions, right? And financing real estate outside of the United States
is a different animal.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different, right? So if you got cash, you good to go. But if you have to depend upon the banking system, then that could be another hurdle for real estate investing. So yeah. So that's what I think.
And depends on your age too.
That part.
As far as, overseas. Because, the younger you are, the better type of loan you're going to get.
At least here in Portugal.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. And here's the other thing. Yeah. It's just, this is not an easy question. It's not an easy answer. Because the other thing is that financing outside of the United States, not only are the loans different, they're usually adjustable, and they have a cutoff date in some instances where you can't be a certain age, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, real estate is a hard beast. And America is the easiest place to invest in real estate so far that I've seen, when you don't have cash, when you can't pay just cash. Canada may be just as easy. But other than that, I haven't seen any other place where you can get a fixed rate right off the bat.
Also, where they are talking about buying a home, what's the industry like? Is there going to be industry there? Are jobs going to be still plentiful? Who knows anymore?
Exactly. And what were they buying the home for? To live in or for an investment?
Right.
Because buying a house is not an investment, y'all. It's not an investment necessarily. The stats say half of Americans cannot afford to retire in America.
Sure.
I think it's higher than that. I wouldn't be surprised if it were higher than that, y'all. Which agency do you suggest if you want to work for one from beginning to end? Sharfar Made? I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing Sharfar Made right. Baby, I don't know. If you're talking about an agency for the government, I would probably not work for a federal agency. I think I would pick a state government and I would pick a blue state. Right? That's what I would do. If government work is what you're trying to do, and
Is she talking about working?
If that's what you're talking, which agency do you suggest? I'm not sure if you want to work with I'm not sure what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about an agency to move. Are you talking about a relocation specialist? Because all of that information will be in the description below and is in the description of our older videos as far as moving to Portugal and stuff like that. We've got the people, I'm not sure what you're talking about, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Kelvin, for becoming a member. We got to get a sound effect. We got to get a sound effect for new members. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's got to be something like that. You see, he's not liking what I'm saying. He ain't liking what I'm dropping down. What's the plan? What is the plan if the U.S. cuts off bank access for Black people or expats? I don't know how they can just cut it off for Black people. I'm sure they can figure it out. But that's just hilarious. Or for expats. Right now, I don't have a plan. D1. Right now, I don't have a plan. But what I do know is that we don't have all of our money in the United States. So that's our plan right now, not to have all of our money in the United States. But don't think we haven't been thinking about that, D1. We have been. We have definitely been thinking about that. And so, we don't even have all of our money in one bank. That's another thing. We have our money spread out on multiple institutions for different reasons. But one reason is just not to be as vulnerable.
No.
Right? And so we're looking for other avenues to move money out. But we will always maintain an American bank account because we have American real estate there. So as long as we have American real estate and we're getting Social Security, we'll maintain that American bank account. Hopefully it won't come to that, but I don't know. But we're keeping our proverbial head on the swivel, D1. And if we figure something out, and look, we can crowdsource this. Who else is thinking about this? There's a lot of expats who are watching. If you're thinking, let us know in the comments. If you're watching from the future, let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Because we're still.
Nobody has the answer for that.
Exactly. LaRonda says Spain has a program that will put you on a 2-year track for citizenship if you can show a link to Spain. Yep. Or have Latin American citizenship. Yes. So for those who are from the former colonies, or for those who have a parent or grandparent from Spain, I think that's it. You can get a fast track to a passport. So welcome new members. Thank you, E-True, for the. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys are so generous. Thank you. All of the super chat, super thanks money go to our scholarship fund. Knowledge is power. Karen Louise. Karen. Oh my God. Thank you. Halisi and Rick, what you say to your 48 million Black people in the U.S., many of whom, bottom line, will never leave America for whatever reason. I know. What do you suggest they do? What should they do if they stay? If you choose to stay, the first thing that you need to do is get in community. And I know we keep saying this, but you need to be serious about this now. And we need to get rid of the individualism, rugged individualism bullshit. Seriously, we need to go back to the days before integration when it comes to community, right? We need to start Saturday school in the United States. When I was a kid, we had Saturday school and we learned African history and we learned African American history. They are erasing our history and we cannot let our kids grow up without our history. All right. And so we need to make these Black churches start teaching history on Saturdays, not just the Bible and white baby Jesus. Right? We need our history, both African and African American and African diasporic history. Just like there's the Jewish people go to Hebrew school, we need to be going to Black school. That's what we need to do. The third thing that I would be doing is I would be saving every single penny that I could and learning everything that I could about AI and everything that I could about investing. I would not buy anything that I didn't need. I would be starting a side hustle or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. All right. Because it's getting very expensive in the United States. They have no problem laying off people. They don't care about people. They don't have a safety net. Okay. So you've got to be prepared for that.
Surround yourself with like-minded folk.
Yeah.
Come up with a plan.
Yeah. And then lastly, I would join a black gun club.
Definitely.
I hate to say it.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I would do.
Learn how to shoot.
That's what I would do. And that's not lastly. And then the very last thing is for the black folks is that when I was president of Colorado Black Women for Political Action, and they've got Simone Sanders coming this year. Go ahead, CBWPA. I'm proud of y'all. Anyway, we came up with a Black Bill of Rights, and we need to force the NAACP and the Urban League and our legacy organizations to get together and come up with a Black Bill of Rights and say anybody who wants Black people to vote for them must sign on to the Black Bill of Rights. That's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd be doing. So thank you, Julie, for the super stickers. Thank you, Big G, BG Intentional for the super sticker. Thank you for Benita for the super sticker. Again and again and again and again. Y'all are too generous. We thank you so much. We thank you so much. Look, y'all, if you need help with this, we got you. All right. The Move Abroad Toolkit is in the description below. The Ready to Retire Toolkit is free. It's in the description below. We have a lot of free resources in the description below. If you're like, look, I ain't got time for all that. I need the quick thing. I need to talk to you guys. You can book a one-on-one call. All right. That information also is in the description below. And I'm sure Greta and Action VJ have put it in the chat as well. We are moving away from Facebook. I look to see where Exodus Summit. I just joined Exodus Summit on this other platform. So far I'm liking what I see. So we'll look at that because we want to have a community where we can support each other and hold each other accountable. We're building our side hustle community, right, on Thinkific. But that's just specifically for side hustle. But for those who are trying to move abroad, for those who are just trying to get financially free and or both, right? We need a community. And that's what we had on Facebook. But when they banned me from Facebook, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need that, right? I will lurk around and do my market research. But other than that, they got it. So we'll find another thing, another community for that. Other than that, we got you guys. We got you. All right. We love you. And we will see you on Thursday.
Take care of yourself.
All right. Take care of yourself. Hit that like button on your way out. Bye.
Bye.